that sucked. Look, it happens. This is the NFL. Stuff like this happens on occasion, and I'll get into that momentarily and just go over how this loss could really become meaningless down the road. But look, Dallas lost 30-16. It really felt like a 30 to nothing type of game. But it sucks, everything went, the Cowboys wrong way, and it just happened to result in a loss. And look, the Cowboys haven't lost since that first game against Tampa Bay. They're 6-2. I'm not upset. Well, let me rephrase that. I understand that we lost, and I'm not happy that we lost. I was watching the game, and I was visibly upset with what was going on, with the mistakes, everything, okay? So I don't want to make it seem like I'm being complacent here, but at the same time, you kind of had to, look back and realistically look at how this game went and understand, okay, so, everything went wrong, and the Cowboys basically had multiple chances to really swing momentum back their way. And we'll go through all of that. But look, I was watching these other games. Buffalo lost to the 1-6 Jags. Okay, you had Atlanta beat the Saints. I understand that they don't have Jameis Winston, but still, we have Arizona and San Francisco and Green Bay and Kansas City going on right now, and we'll see what happens in those games. But Dallas isn't screwed, okay? I want us to realize that Dallas is still in prime contention for a bye week. They still have the ability to win the East. I'm not concerned. The 90s Cowboys had stuff like this happen to them. And I think that us overreacting to a loss isn't going to do us any good. It would be more concerning if we lost to a team like Jacksonville, and we're like, yo, something's going on. Like, when you compare this loss to other losses in years past, this is one thing because Denver is a solid team. I feel like you should have beaten them. And are they the greatest 5-4 team? No. But they're still a solid squad, okay? Then you look at other years, and like 2014, you lost to a Washington team that was like 2-6 when you were 6-1 on primetime football. You lost to an 0-4 Jets team when you're 3-2. You've had multiple opportunities to this isn't the last time that this has happened. This is an NFL thing. This isn't like a Cowboys thing. I'm looking at the stats here. Dallas was 5 of 13 on third down, 0 for 4 on fourth down, and they went for it early on the first two drives, which they should have. It was just they couldn't execute. And you look at the first downs, Dallas got dominated. They only had 14 first downs to the Broncos 23. You look at the total plays. Dallas had 57 total plays to that of Denver 73. It just looked bad all around as I'm looking through these statistics. I mean, Dallas was 2 for 2 in the red zone, but they really didn't get in the red zone until the later portion of the game, so I'm like, whatever. Dallas only had the ball for 18 minutes, and that's not good. So, but getting to the box score as we go over this. Teddy Bridgewater had himself a solid game. He was sacked 4 times, okay? Micah Parsons with 2.5 sacks, okay? So he now has 5 sacks on the year, and I think that firmly places him in Defensive Rookie of the Year contention and puts him, in that. He had 3 tackles for, Micah Parsons was the best player today. Dak Prescott, 19 for 39 and 2 touchdowns and interception. He didn't look good at all. He looked rusty. Decision-making was a bit, in bad throws. But here's the thing. There were moments where you watch the receivers, and it's like, if Cooper catches it, it's a long gain. If Lamb catches it, it's a touchdown. There were multiple instances where the Cowboys really could have opened this game up, and they didn't. And the most egregious situation was they blocked a punt. And I'm not saying it's Nahshon Wright's fault. I think that this is a rule that's really stupid. So, he touches the ball when it goes past the line of scrimmage. A Bronco defender picks it up, and he's downed, and yet it's still a first down for Denver because of a rule that says if you touch a ball when it is past the line of scrimmage, it's a lot. Like, it's stupid. I don't understand why that exists. I didn't know that existed, so I'm not trying to sit here and be like, oh, it happened against my. That shouldn't be a rule. That's kind of stupid. Very stupid, nonetheless. But overall, the Cowboys, I felt, had a very bad game, and it really, like, think about it. It took every single bit of everything to go wrong for the Cowboys to lose this game the way they did. I mean, there were multiple times where Dallas, like, if you think about it this way, if Dallas gets that blocked punt and they're on the Bronco 20 or 30 yard line, I think that they score, and I think that the complexion of the game changes, but it didn't. So that sucks. I mean, you had Melvin Gordon and I think it's Jamal Williams. They had they had 190 yards of rushing. That's fantastic. And the Broncos really did a good job at, sticking to what worked, and Dallas just couldn't stop it. There were positives. Micah Parsons, what was it? Where is he at? Osa Odigizua. How many tackles for loss? He only had one, but he was in the backfield constantly. Like, he was really causing issues. So defensively, there were some highlights. Offensively, not really a whole lot. I mean, Terrence Steele looked terrible, but I'm not saying it's his fault. I was upset on Twitter because I'm like, dude, they can't be doing that. And I'm not saying, like, it's because the problem is that he's a guy that's supposed to be ready to do those things. I understand he's like that right tackle position. He's got sound, and it's what he does. And you're asking him to do it's hard. It's really hard to play left tackle for some people, and for him it was hard. And I'm sorry, but you gotta do your part because he practices swing tackle. It's not just right tackle he practices. But it sucked, and it's not because and it's the whole offensive line. There was no real continuity. Everything was wrong. Zeke made history. He's now got over 7,000 rushing yards. Congratulations to him. I think him and Emmett are the two players to reach that milestone in a certain number of games. So great for him. I'm just saying, did I miss anything else? Not particularly. I mean, look, the Cowboys just had a bad game. But every game, as I'm taking a look at these other games, Kansas City's about to score. Look, this happens, okay? I don't want us to sit here and cry about a single game. I'm not saying blow this over and ignore the problems, because there are problems that we can correct. All I'm saying is we just need to realize that this happens. Jacksonville beat the Bills. The Saints lost to the Falcons. You're going to see instances where teams are losing games where they really should win games. Like I mentioned earlier in the video, the 90s Cowboys went through this. It happens. Stuff happens. So all I'm going to say is look, be glad that this is an AFC loss as opposed to it being an NFC loss. Dallas needs to regroup and get ready for Atlanta the following week. I think they'll be fine. I think that the fight they kind of showed towards the end of the game, I understand it's garbage time, I get that, but the fact that they showed some form of fight towards the end really put things in perspective. I feel like they'll be fine next week. And look, it's a bad game. Let's just, if it starts becoming a trend, then we're going to have an issue. But stuff happens. I don't want to repeat myself, but that's really where we're at. It sucks, but let's get ready for Atlanta. Let's just move on, and will Dallas clinch the NFC East a lot earlier? No, because they kind of slipped over themselves. But I mean, hey, what? The Giants beat the Raiders today, and the Raiders I think are 5-2. So weird week. I mean, this is it's a natural thing in the NFL. It was bound to happen. So. All right, guys, let's just take this loss in stride, and let's correct our mistakes, and let's get on to Atlanta. So I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good one. Bye-bye.